Don't you know I'm a bad little mama? I got moves like Madonna. Don't tell me cause I move when I'm gonna. I'm not afraid to lose, I am a prima donna. Don't you see I'm a winner, I'm a queen. I cause no scene if you work with me. Don't stop me cause I fight when I wanna. I'm not afraid to lose, I am a prima donna.
Step out as a motivator. Let them know that the weight's up. That's how we know when we level up. Hey, that's how we know when we level up.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, Air Force, GG Bet, and ESEA.
Are we ready now to level up?
These are those moments I don't think anybody else is going to forget.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League. Welcome to the first official match of the ESL Pro League as we're ready to get started with our special qualifier into the North American region in particular, where our first match will be Triumph versus Infinity Esports, two of the three teams that will be looking to make it through to the main stage out of this qualifier. Of course, with Furia being that third squad qualifying off the, or getting to this qualifier, I should say, off the back of their performance in Season 11. We'll find out whether or not they can make their way into Season 12, hopefully over the course of the next few days. I'm the Eternal J. I'm your commentator for this matchup, this single best of three for the evening. Going into tomorrow, we will have the Furia versus Infinity match, so the battle, the South Americans should be seeing a very fun time in my humble opinion. But for tonight, we have the Yanks, if you will, from Triumph, that will be taking their place on the top of the ladder for the moment. And here on our best of three, we will have Inferno, Overpass, and Dust 2 being played out. Inferno being the pick of Infinity, although a pretty respectable map for the opposition. Is one of the most played maps in the pool for Triumph. And in general, they have statistically their highest win rate maps that will be played out today. So I think a lot of bets are on the Triumph side to take control of this one. We'll let the CT start and everything. So right now, everything's coming up to their benefit. Infinity on the T-side start, going out to the early banana aggression. You can see a fast play coming through with the utility straight out of the gate. Curry tapping through with the P2K, getting that first kill and a second, looking for the headshot on the next few players making their way out, but they do find the trades on Curry and Grim to a 3-on-3. The plant can be secured by the Infinity side, so let's see how they can contest against the incoming retake. No defuse kit. I don't believe one was brought down in the pistol round. So a little bit of time to work with, and Triumph will need to act quickly. Taps up. USPs coming in over to the construction area. Shaker's going to take damage. Bungie is going to go falling. Junior with one headshot, needs to land himself. Two more. He gets his double. Now on through triple, seeing that bomb planted open for first. Taps it back. Turned. Okay. What a lock onto the headshot and a beautiful kill, but will it be enough to secure the round? It'll be close without the kit, and I think he's just about got it. Yes, he does. What a 3K from Junior, and what a way to start things off for Triumph. Beautiful shooting from the USPs. Running out of time, but not running out of opportunity. Did concede a bomb plant to the Infinity side. The very aggressive execution out to the bomb site. Almost a pistol rush, if you will. The AKs and the Galil on the force buy. Of course, that bomb plant bonus getting themselves a bit more out of the round. So I'll be seeing whether or not these rifles can do the damage. Of course, one-shot headshots against the head Kevlar of the Triumph side. The SMGs actually leave them on technically a slightly worse buy by comparison. 2 rifles versus the 3, and 1 M4 versus 2 AKs. Flashes out towards Long, going to come through alongside the smoke, of course, and Junior going to line up a bit of damage. Unable to get the kill. He's suppressing for the moment. Spongy will look for info and get mollied out. Just using smoke to keep control of the pit position. The bomb's still back here towards stairs, so they get this one up here. Torito through second mid to join his teammates in that mid position, and they're still locking on for a little bit. Infinity, 45 seconds through the clock, and they have got a lot of map control favouring this A site hit. 2 players on B, will even a little bit thinned out, but should be enough to hold the defensive, assuming they can get these picks in. Well, that'll be the first kill. Junior getting that first frag out in the open. Turn around from Sam. We can only do so much there, so a 2-for-2 trade. They've still got 1 CT left in the pit position. One of the rifles is going to fall. Actually, both the rifles will fall. Shake Zilla in with a decent frag. His teammate's going to go low, but Shake does get the player on the bomb site. Kinky left, leaving his teammate alone now. Davies, how is he going to handle this? Bomb out in the open, not yet planted by the Infinity side, the SMGs. We get forced out position, but he's on such low HP that it's going to be an easy kill, and indeed it is. They should recover these AK rifles, and this should be actually only the M4 getting picked up, so not quite as much firepower in for Triumph in this next round. But they do deny the bomb plants. They deny any further buy force up coming in from the Infinity side. They also deny a little bit of extra bonus money for the next round. So things are looking pretty good for the moment for the Triumph side. A MAC-10 force buy actually does come through, so this actually is a very risky style of buy, I feel like. They're going to get ripped apart by these rifles, and Grim already getting that first. Curry with the second, third kill coming in as Torito goes falling. The nades up, Spongy is aggressed past one of the T-side players, does get that bomb planter taken away as Davies left alone. Back in the wood stack corner. Behind the smokes, they suspect it's going to be here. It's about to clear in a moment's time, and they'll be able to get an SMG kill for their trouble. A 3-0 start for Triumph, and a very confident one at that. Infinity throwing up very little right now in the T-side half. But again, part of that is down to the fact that they have gone for force buys and not a whole lot of rifles on their side. They would do well to go for an eco here. Tech 9, couple Deagles out. A bit of Kevlar. Again, it's quite heavy on the buy. I mean, I know they've got Maxos bonus coming in the next round, but even so... SMG's up, the nade's going down. Davies already tagged, and that nade doing more damage to him. And Torito going to get a bit more out of that one and everything. The Infinity side try and look for a way to work in. Triumph just going to bear down on them with the standard B aggression in Banana. I mean, Curry's been playing this position very early on in this matchup and getting a lot of success out of it. Anytime they go towards Banana, if they play the slow defaults, Infinity are most likely going to get shut down. Crossfire is set. Grim will just provide covering fire, ensure that his man does not get overwhelmed. We'll receive some bullets back his way. Just popping out to ensure that this Deagle does not make progress and burst in. 2 bullets, 1 connected to the head. Junior gets himself a kill, and they do get 2 picks back on the pistols. Turnaround from Torito, she manages to find a nice flick back on the 90-degree angle, and they do some damage to the Triumph side. That will be more significant if they manage to find 4 players, and if the money was not so bolstered for the Triumph side. 10k pre-buy, and they can get the AWPs out. The SMG stays in for Curry. Could go ahead and upgrade that one, or could get maximum value out of this weapon if he so desires. It will be a tactical pause for the Infinity side for this 5th round. Appropriately so, because things have been a little bit less than ideal on this start. This map being one of those maps which is still pretty balanced in terms of the CT and T bias. AWP does come in for Davies here. A little bit lack on utility on his part, but everybody else can go for the full buy. Nade placement isn't 100% there from the CT forces, but they have done a lot of, not a lot, but a little bit of early damage. The responses do come in from the double nades down towards the Banana stack, though, and Grim and Curry can take a lot from that. Again, the SMG will be pushed quite close up range. The Molotov will force Grim off position, so this SMG may be caught off. He gets 1 kill. Torito will take him down, and Grim left to try and pick up the pieces. Torito's backed up by Davies here with the AWP. Around that corner. The broken wall position. Spongy will make his way up into that mid area. Burst through, take out Kinky for a 4-on-3 situation now, and once again favourable to the Triumph squad. AK from Toretto to round the corner. You get 1 kill back from Spamsy, so that's something. Junior follows, flash over, Shake drops the bomb, suspects the second player will also be there. A flashback to try stop Toretto from getting this bomb. Faces away from it, both players on the CT side facing, Shake Zilla gets his double, and that should dismantle the round from here. 1 versus 3 to Spamsy, will get himself a pick. 2 more to find though, and the AWP is setting up here. The flashbang does catch him off a blind, but peeks a little bit too late there from Shake Zilla. Or from Spamsy, I should say. Shake Zilla is, of course, pretty well placed there to get that 5th round. And a final frag to turn us up by a margin. Another force buy back from Infinity. Okay. I mean, they do get 4 rifles and 3 AKs. But I do have questions about this approach to this map. And certainly to the buy strategy of the Infinity side. I'm seeing a lot of damage at least come through on Spongy to start things off, so he will get forced back out of the apartments, I believe, is where he peaked initially. Junior. Out of his own. Holding on that long position, the burst in from Shake Zilla takes down one of Graveyard. Junior does get another kill. 3, 4 picks going the way of the CTs, and Shake's just standing by with a smoke. It's a nice clean mop up from the CT forces, and only that initial damage being sustained by Spongy. Triumph are having a whale of a time. And the money's way too low to go for a force buy here for Infinity. They surely have to go for an eco round. And again, they're going to upgrade some pistols and Kevlar. So not too much investment, but you know, half buy regardless for the Infinity squad. Junior opening things up. Nice headshot down that mid position, getting that kill. And of course, the rest of the pistols should fall pretty quickly into the hands of the rifles, as you would expect. 2v5. Oh, 1 kill goes by Kinky, but Curry's ready against Davies next, and gets that kill of his own right. So only left to Kinky now in the apartments, being faced up. 3 frags for Curry, making it 4 as he closes it out for the 7-0 start for Triumph, and what may well be a pace setter for this map, if not this series. Infinity will need to change something if they want to try bring this back. Triumph are 1 round away from winning their CT half, and they will have themselves another tactical pause on this T side. And again, appropriate to think so. Probably to take these because Infinity have been shut down at every turn. You know, maybe they've gained some small advantages here and there, but nothing major. Just maybe a certain style of, you know, man advantage or HP advantage or something like that. But usually is not enough to push these rounds over the edge. Triumph get the kills and return with damage and return to even standing, eventually taking control of the executions coming in from Infinity. And these are slow defaults. Got a lot of work to be done here for the Infinity side. They want to make them work, especially because the nades are coming in. The damage has been sustained. The first pick not quite going the way of Sam. He falls out. Incendiaries will try to keep them at bay. Same readying up his flashback to make his way in. 1 CT pops out. Curry does fall. Grim gets that trade. Toretto on 2 HP. Flick to the head. Somehow gets Grim. But his next phase surely should be his last. There's just not a lot of breathing room for Infinity. Have got the 4-on-3 though, and they have found presence on the A bomb site. Spongy is the lone man standing on this defense, and with Spamsy looking to press up from the short position, they may find a way back into this round. Again, they've left 1 player solo holding. It's the M4 as well. The AK, I could get him a bit of a chance, but so much needs to go right here for Spongy. Time is of the essence for the Infinity side. 40 seconds and Spongy is going to start to slowly challenge, spot spray, and get taken out by Davies. And they're going to wrap back through B. Infinity, they've read this all sorts of wrong. They have to get a last second kill against them. And Sheikh Zula will hold on. 1 pick, 2 picks make it 3. As all the headshots line up. And that could not have gone more disastrously for Infinity as the AWP pick comes in for Junior. Toronto will recognize their mistake. Oh man, that is that is not a fun time. That is not a fun time, to say the least, for Triumph. Oh, sorry, for Infinity, I should say. It's a great time for Triumph. 8-0, looking real good at the moment. Junior gets that first pick once again. Samay down towards the benches. Heavy investment round. The teams will be able to trade 1 back for. Junior does get that response on the Toronto, and Spongy bursting in, completely blind sprays through smokes and walls. Further smokes up will just stop them from making any progress. Infinity need to find another way. We'll force Curry back a little bit. Back over to the main swing position. Banana area, he's now seen. Knows of at least one. I think it may have been the bomb planter that he saw as well, but he's going to just wait and continue to play solo here. They'll play retake towards B, which is certainly a risky prospect with the 4-on-3 scenario. Let's see what he can do. Curry swinging out in the midst of the smoke. Kinky does turn around, take him back to even standing. So this plant can come down. Can Triumph force the issue? This is, I think, is the first time since the pistol round we've seen standing in an even standing. Opportunity now presents itself for Infinity. Can they score their first round here in this map? Well, one player's going to get tagged low, but one falls in trade for Triumph. A flash in from Junior might allow Spongy to peek. They know of 2. Jump facing, potentially going for a boost. Don't know what Triumph are going to think of right now, but either way, the T-side are just holding their angles as standard. Time is ticking, and they might just be looking for exits, actually. Junior sees one at the back of second. The AK spray gets him down. Now Spongy is left alone, so they do make up for lost room. Spongy does get 1 pick on the way back out, and 2. Spamsy will get that exit frag, and will he be able to survive? No, he won't. So that's a good effort at the very least to keep all players going down for Infinity. And with the heavy investments they've been taking round after round, that will hurt the economy state of the T side. So that's going to hurt them as well. 2 Galils in on Toronto and Kinky. Got a Deagle out for Samay. This is the full-blown sets coming in from Triumph there on the rifles. A little bit of lucky utility. I think most of it just got used, though, on Grim and Curry. And, of course, that AWP for Junior in particular. The main sticking point for the CT side. They have also lost a little bit of head Kevlar in that exchange, so... I mean, Shay could have afforded it, so I don't know why he didn't buy it down. I understand Grim being on $400, but... I mean, even then, he could have bought a head Kevlar, so I don't know what the motivation was there for Triumph, but... D goes out from Sam A as he gets Curry down. Smokes up towards Cross. The M4 Grim stands by, sees 3s. He pops out, gets that first kill. Flashbangs in from his teammates to respond. He does fall back behind, but get team flashed out of the way. Shake does get his kill. 2 line up for Grim. He drops that bomb looking for his 3K, his 4K, I should say. Doesn't matter because Junior's got the info. He needs to shoot through the smoke and keep 3 alive. Keep 9 on the board for Triumph. And Infinity just can't seem to catch a break. Down to the 3rd stage of loss bonus. Up on max for the next round. So much needs to be done from here, and well, they're not making any further progress in this round, it seems. Pick with the AWP. Junior just straight up and straight out. And this is concerning for the Infinity side. The last time these two teams faced, it was a best of one. It was a number of months ago now, but no, still the same five-man lineup for Infinity. The same core as well for Triumph Squad. And that was a 16-10. This is looking nowhere near that kind of a scoreline, so Infinity better be hoping that their CT half is something that's going to bring them back, because this is their map pick as well. Let's not forget that much. Bursts in, Shake gets another kill on Samé, and Davies is the last man left for the T side. Couldn't make his way into the B site, actually. He got Grim on that cross, no smoke down, so Davies will pop him blind, and he will get shut out for it all the same, so easy peasy for 10-1 on the board of Triumph. And the execution from Infinity here on round 12. Shut down by nades initially. Molotovs out, sprays blind through those. Well, not blind, but, you know, semi-blind through the flames. Spongy gets himself 2 picks. Grim's going to back off to hold on to the short defensive, and in particular to the apartments. Shake's got long covered, so it's all left to Kinky, the last man standing out of the boiler area. Seeing the edge of the smoke, Shake shuts him down. Ten-round deficit for this T side to work here. AKs across the board as well for Triumph. They've got so much firepower. Junior does get the opener. Bringing out Davies. Infinity forced to slow down and rethink the position here. Rethink the default in general. Trying to avoid the stomping in this first half. Taps and bursts in from the AK. Do spot one player out of the banana position. Torito and Spamsy will take damage for their trouble out in their respective peaks from mid and banana, and we're not going much further with it. It is just simple stuff being held by the Triumph side. Kinky might catch Curry here as he's made his way quite deeper towards Boiler. Swings on a secondary kill. Spongy's out of dodge. And one player has forced the issue back for the Infinity side. Grim does get a kill back as Spongy does double up to a 2 versus 2. As Spamsy gets that trade back, we stand at evens. A bomb plant going to get secured towards default. Further utility on the smokes coming down against Shake Zula. The flash over from Grim. Trying to see if we can catch one player in the pit area. I think he saw the man. Spamsy taking face against the AKs of the CT forces. That headshot comes through. It's all left to Samé. A lot of work to do. He sprays on one, but is unable to get the second. That's Shake Zula closing things out in round 13 with a 12-1 scoreline. And Infinity had a good offer, a good sort of idea there. You know, a nice deep sort of presence there in the boiler room area. A real big chance to turn something to their favor, but not to be. things certainly are going better for Triumph right now as we approach the end of the half. And, I mean, what else do you say to the Infinity side? Like, you know, it's clearly not gone right for them. A shaky start, questionable decisions, and not enough to fire up against the Triumph side. They very spread out. Looking like they don't really know what they want to do right now on this default. And we're rotating to try and join Curry on this crossfire. Standard sort of crossfire they've had with those two automatic weapons, one push close and one held back far at the stack area. And Curry sorry to take them down. Trigger Discipline lines up two in the spray as Grim peeks out, gets two of his own, and that shuts down the round here for the T side. And there it is, Shake closing things out. A completely flawless round from Triumph. Not a single point of damage done to the entire CT side. And round 15, we'll see a force buy for Infinity. No AKs. No warp. Flash in to get aggressive from Curry because of course he does. They're going to hold pretty aggressive on that banana push as well. I mean, Curry will start to fall back to passive, but they'll leave Grim pushed up close. Orpa Jr. watching the corner now of Long from Arch. Kinky will back up Spamsy as they try and make their way out of the apartments. Nice nades in. That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of potential taken away from Infinity, what little they had here on this 15th execution. Grim is going to get a backstab in, catch off one of the only rifles, take it down. Kinky's quick to follow at the Shakezilla, still left in the sight. Spamsy going to take his UMP, get onto a missed AWP shot. Spongy gets one pick back, and Shakezilla's there to trade out the last on the site, so it will be 14-1 to close out the half. And what a half it was from Triumph. I think a lot of people had them pinned to be the victors overall in this series, but I kind of had them maybe going a bit close against Infinity. You know, at least in certain scenarios, I would have thought that these maps would have been the worst possible picks, I feel like, for this Infinity side. But even so, I hoped for a little more. But hope is fleeting over on that Infinity side. And Triumph, you know, very clearly the better team in this matchup, and they are proving it. A 14-1 half on their opponent's map pick. And Infinity better hope, Infinity fans better hope that they've got a trick up their sleeve going into Overpass so they can try and improve their form, because right now it has not been a fun time. It has not been a fun time at all. And this half-time will certainly be an opportunity to let things simmer, to potentially mull over things and try and figure out how you go about this comeback, because it is so insane. If you lose the pistol, it's map point. Any good conversion from Triumph will be able to take that 16th and leave you wrecked at 16-1. And it'll be tough, you know. It'll be real tough. Actually, if you get to that point, because obviously you have to go match point and then go into the overtime. If you find anything whatsoever here for the Infinity side, and again, that's assuming anything goes right for them. honestly, if I'm looking at this situation, and as the independent observer that I am, even if I am, you know, thinking about this from a coaching perspective or anything, like, I honestly don't know how you dig yourself out of this hole. Needs to be a clear and obvious change of pace from Infinity, and they have got their CT defensive, so, you know, I think that, you know, the CT side in theory is often just, you know, generally easier to play from a basic sort of a gameplay standard. Obviously, you know, that's not quite the case always in pro gameplay, but, you know, just off that single lone basis, you could say that in theory there is an opportunity for Infinity to turn this around. But I'll be honest, even in my stating that, you can probably tell from the tone of my voice, I don't have confidence in even that statement, so let's see whether or not Infinity will be able to do the virtually impossible right here and bring a 13-round comeback against Triumph. It's the pistol round, the defuse kit on Davies, the double flash for him on the CT side. Shake's got the single smoke double flash set up for the Triumph side. And here they go, straight in towards mid. A big T-side force seen by the likes of Sam A as he crossed down. He's going to hear all those footsteps out the apartments, and Davies is going to be on a quick rotation, but he won't be able to get towards Arch before the first player comes in. Sam A does get that first kill. Curry trades it out the apartments, gets the second player down. The bomb plant will be secured to a 4-on-3, a retake for the Infinity squad. And they still have that defuse kit there, ready and waiting to get on site. Torito and Davies getting themselves 2 picks. Opportunity there as the Graveyard player also gets shut down. It shakes to the left in the back of the site. A 1v3 scenario. Infinity with efficient picks have found their way on. Taps up. Damage done. Headshot found. Second player peeking out the left and right hand side. Shay gets his second. On for his 3. He's got 3 bullets in the chamber to land the headshot against the man. Oh, Sheikh Zula. Oh, Sheikh Zula, you sexy beast. With sexy shots and a map point for Triumph. And it's done. Like, it's done from there. It is all sorts of done from there. And you can see the desperate attempts from Infinity to hopefully stack up something, but they're forced by with this Spike 7 can only go so far with it. Good trades are at least coming through, but look at Spundy chasing out Sam A here in the apartments. He will also get picked apart. And tap up. Good shots coming out, but it's Torito. Lone man standing for the CT side. This should be 16-1 for Triumph. And there it is. Well, I mean, I'll admit I did have the optimistic outlook in this particular matchup, and certainly it was a little bit too optimistic from what we should have been expecting out of the Infinity squad. Certainly a lot to work on going into our second map of the series, and hopefully it won't be a second map of suffering. Overpass is up next. It is Triumph's pick. Infinity are backed into a corner, and we'll go to a break. We'll find out whether or not they can pull this off after this, so stick with us as our first matchup of ESL Pro League looks to continue after this.
Everybody loves an underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to cs.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG Bet.
Pushing buttons, so it's quick. Push it off and do assist. Oh, y'all think we new to this? Pound for pound, break it down. Watch what we gon' do with this. Teamwork got us fluid with. Make y'all look like switches. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Gave it everything when we had nothing. Holding on by a thread, couldn't grab nothing. Seems we moved on to a better place. Shine away from the shade. But not away. Ain't no going back.
What you finna There's no defense, I'll buy it if I want it. I'm going supersonic, come on, beg for it. Alright, okay, running out of luck. Too much in my cup, Nishi run it up. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you not my team pop. Shawty, I know. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you not my team pop. My team pop. Who really got the block, Sipping to rock in a cop car, They say they wanna party with us, 12 X and how much be that boofy, it's a la, My feature price bigger than your bank account. You talk about it, but don't show us that about. These boys only flexing with that allowance. We swimming in the shower. I'm only f***ing you if your toes cute. Brown skin, goddamn, that's my soul food. I'm winning for the record, check your memo, bro. Generation of destruction, you'll remember us. LSD used to do promethazine. I'm only THC, and the C is my new lean. We no longer up next on top. Like your girl when she counting my checks. There's no defense, I'll buy it if I want it. I'm going supersonic, come on, beg for it. Alright, okay, running out of luck. Too much in my cup, Nishi run it up. Why you always tripping like you top? Cause you not.
ESL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Gaming Malta, Mountain Dew Game Fuel, CS Money, MSI, GG Bet, and ESEA.
Welcome back to the ESL Pro League. Welcome back to our series between Triumph and Infinity, our first matchup of the tournament. And, well, it's not gone that well for Infinity to open up in our series. For those of you that missed Inferno, it went 16-1 to the favour of Triumph. And overpasses Triumph's map pick. And, I mean, look, I tried to pull as much as I could from the map pulls over the last few months. And, you know, they have, like, negative win-loss records on the Infinity side. So there's not much that you can pull from in the grand scale of things. But, honestly, how that performance went down, you have to... I mean, despite the fact that, you know, they are the favourites over on the Triumph side, even then I would have thought that Infinity gave a bit of a disappointing sort of performance in that one. I would have hoped that it would have kept it at least relatively close, but... Here they are in the worst-case scenario. I mean, they only could have gotten worse if they didn't go a single round of that last map. So, you know, just let that sink in. And Triumph, with a simple map on their board, will be able to take the first win here in Pro League and taking the first win in the North American Special Qualifier. Their match against Furia may look to be semi-interesting a little bit later on over the next few days here. A timeout coming through immediately, seeming like it's going to be a technical one for the Infinity side. So, moment there to get their coach back into coach position. We can get started with our pistol round. Infinity will have the CT start, and a CT start they absolutely need at this moment in time. So, I wonder if it will go their way. I wonder if they will take enough in the tank to somehow pull this map out of the hat and pull this series back from the brink. Pistol buys coming through. Diffuse for Davies. We've got a smoke out for him as well. We've got two smokes, Shake and Spongy between them. A double flash for Shake and a Molotov for Spongy. We're going to go early into the B-site execution. Triumph wasting no time in trying to storm the site and just take Infinity for a ride. Samé with the first pick of the round and the first pick of the map getting Grim down. Curry will trade it. Kinky holding the back lines will tap his way through and just deny Curry in this particular position. Torito going to make his way out from water as well. Get some kills and it looks like the CTs are holding on. Triumph getting a bit overzealous in their T-side start and they will concede the pistol to Infinity. So a much better start from the CTs. A much better stance to hold here on this second map. As there we go. First going on the board of the Infinity Esports side. And Triumph with an eco to come through. No bomb plant secured. Bit of a semi-decent vibe coming out from them. Again, no Kevlar, not a lot of utility, but a lot of firepower, and it keeps the main line pretty low. Ooh, Spamsy. Drain that shot. Oh, transferring that spray, I should say, towards Grim to start things. Spongy will burst around the corner with the Glock, get the FAMAS out. Try to see what he can do with this, the jumping deagle from Curry. I don't think he'll be able to hit that. A minute and 10, Davies, back turn, potentially the wrong moment. He does line up those two sprays, and it's like he'll get Junior next. What Spongy can do with his FAMAS out. Again, low HP on both players. The bomb on the back of Junior has also been spotted. May look to rotate through Connector. They should know that there's a lot of presence from the T side. Infinity will press forward and will pay for it. Second kill. Bungie takes Sam for a ride. And Deagle Jr. seriously considering a rotation towards that B site. If he does, to go through just one, the opposing force. 27 seconds through the clock at this moment. Junior facing up, 10 seconds. Good kill from Davies, and they line up for him in the end. So, not to be there from the Deagle as Davies gets his 4K. And 2-0 on the board for Infinity. Triumph back to their rifles for our third round here. Going again very fast into the B defaults. Not going to go rush out of the monster area. Curry looking on with a spray back on Kinky. 21 points of HP as he exits out to the bridge position. And Sam May will actually get himself a Molotov kill. So Triumph able to hold their own. 5-on-4 situation. Jump face from Sammy, unable to get the pick on Spongy. Will do a little bit of damage, but all in all, there's a bit more damage back on the grand scale of things. They have found their first pick. Triumph will finally be able to trade it. So 4-on-4 situation. SMG swapped out to the rifle. The flash over from Sammy will hold its own. Davies will try support when they flash over towards the water position, but nothing going to come out from Triumph. They're actually going to fall back and potentially think about their stance here. They've got a bit of connector presence and potentially going in towards the mid area. It seems to be what they're going to do. Bomb on the back, a shake. Grim going to make his way up. Spongy still putting utility out here to try sell him on the idea that there's still players on this site. Smoke out towards Heaven. That's 3 players here in total. They're going to slowly creep up and try and overwhelm Davies, who's held back to bank. So a default plant over on the short position could potentially go well for them. As Shake does go falling, and second player's quick on the rotation. Grim's got to get this plant in now. It'd be a 4-on-3 scenario. Favorable retake to the CTs. Grim escapes damage, escapes dodge. Junior keeping his eyes on bank. One player also held back in the mid position. Grim turning away at the worst possible moment. That's going to cost them. Triumph lose control of the site. Spongy still here at passive spots 2. Only gets 1 pick. Second player around the corner. 1v1's being taken. Sammy gets a kill of his own. And Junior turns it to a 1v1. Kit on him. AK picked up. Junior's got to face the corner. And Sammy's going to win the fight. 3 kills to his name. And Infinity with a much better start here. The 3 first rounds going their way. A rifle round as well against Triumph. Did come down to the wire, and again, some key mistakes being made by Infinity there to I can see as many players as they did. You know, 1v1s around the corner in particular is what you want to watch out for. They do get the victory though, and they do force Triumph. Go to the half buy here. They did have enough nades for a nade stack, and there was no boost coming up from the Infinity side. They haven't gone for that too much on that short position. They have gone for on-site boosts. The main run of the defensive has been pretty far forward, and it gets it quite a lot of damage done, and quite a lot of work done all in all. Torito with his 2 kills, it does get traded back. And the M4 in the back line's King Key with the kill. Now leaving the Shake and Sponge with the last 2 players standing for the Triumph side. The P250 up will spot a second player in the back. Lots of HP damage, so could have been 3 kills all in all, but not to be for the CT side. So they keep their 4th round intact. Keep their flawless stance held, and a max loss bonus will go the way of Triumph. They're going to have themselves AKs and AWPs. Sammy getting aggressive as Spongy's caught baited over to checking the boost spot. Nice bait and switch play from Infinity. Not something that's going to work many rounds over. Certainly all down to the fact there was only a single player there on the short position, so that's another man advantage being gained by Infinity, who have been finding much better positions on this CT side. So Infinity have their long control coming out on this defense. Lacking in mid, they're kind of conceding that position to the Triumph side. Doing a bit of their own medicine, it feels like, for the North Americans. Curry swings. What a shot. Oh, what a sequence from Curry. Second frag to his name. Maybe even make it a 3K. He gets them all. Wow, what an entrance from Curry. And that takes the bomb site in hold. The plant can be secured. They may just consider the save here, Infinity. It's an M4 that falls, so Kinky's just got nothing left to work with. Took a bit of time to get started there, but Triumph are now rolling on the T side as all the headshots go their way. And again, Corey is the man to thank for all that. A big, big start here. Orpa Jr. also continuing to swing with the momentum. Obviously, the damage being done against the Infinity side will leave them on a very low buy. A force buy of their own. The AWP will get close, but just get shut down as the B site hit that they intended to take in the pistol round has gone much better here in round 6. The rifle's out. The T's Storm, and Spamsy's left to save his weapon. That will hurt the economy more than anything else, getting rid of that AWP to ensure that nothing else comes out from the CT save. Obviously, Spamsy's not in a position to get that, but everything gone away from the Infinity squad. Most of their main weapons just lost to the hit of Triumph. And it's got to be a full eco as well. They've got no choice. Like, there's no way. The Molotov's in the same position, and maybe a little waste blade there. 3-man boost coming up, and Spongy deals with it. As you would expect. Stack in on the pistols, the M4, the only thing saved out towards mid, and unfortunately everybody's getting ripped apart for the CT forces. Kinky next to 4, so damage and potential, trying to stop themselves the rush around from the short position, but either way. Plant down, Spamsy left alone once again to save his weapon, far away from any of the action. And Triumph just steamrolling their way onto their 3 rounds. Like, that was, again, a beautiful sequence. Start things off, and everything else is just falling in place for Triumph. Then we're going to lose that rifle at the end of it. Which of course means that, you know, Infinity will still be up for a buy, obviously, with the lost bonus building. Full eco coming in that last one. M4's out, and the Farmasian for Kinky will be the main issue for the Infinity setup. But, again, up against the full-blown set of rifles we have here for the Triumph side. That's going to be the biggest concern. A boost up from Sam A, though, gets Spongy on short. Entrance denied. Triumph losing map control and losing the man advantage. They will try and force the issue in towards this longhouse. A longhouse, long position, I should say. And outside of T-Con, it's Shake Zully getting a trade back. Grim does find the second player also in Birthday. And Curry drops 1 in the bathrooms. He is susceptible to trading, and Sam's going to follow suit, get us to a 2-on-2 situation. And Triumph acting upon their disadvantage, pressing forward rather than falling back passive, but for once they do fall back and go for a rotation into the B bomb site. The plant should get secured here. There's no kit for Infinity. Very quick to the mark when it comes to this retake. Davies may find a position to work with Shigzilla. The spray just goes his way. AHP leaving Grim alone. 1-on-2 scenario. Knows that jungle player is in position. Looking around, checks the spray, all left to Sam A now to try and hold the retake here for the Infinity side. 2 kills, making it 3 for Grim as Triumph get another good round on that board. Deagle's out for the Infinity side. Because they are back to eco status once again. Upgrade pistols at best, not even half buy, wouldn't even classify it as one. Toronto, Deagle, ready to flash around the corner. Gonna catch the bomb planter? What? Triumph committing so far forward, and they've lost the crucial piece of kit they need. The trade does come in, so Kinky does fall down, but Toronto's still holding here from Monster. Secondary kill to his name, making it 3 and 4! Not quite the ace, but so much done by one man! And Curry left to pick up the bomb, left to take out 2 more players. It's still within his remit, but the fact we're down to a 1-on-2 speaks volumes to the Infinity setup. The Eagles out for Spamsy, taps up, gets the headshot against Curry, and a disaster round for Triumph. Oh dear. Talk about Infinity's mispositioning. The same could also be applied to Triumph, except it's not down to aggression, it's just more down to how they pushed. Orp, first kill, straight up against Spamsy. You can see his head above the smoke right there. And Triumph get the start that they want here in these rounds. Toronto gets his kill. Spongy and Junior able to respond. 4-on-2 scenario. Sam A and Davies, 2 players for the Infinity side left to come back at this one. Sam A is going to get taken out towards jungle. And Triumph again going to overwhelm the CT defensive by just wrecking everybody, it seems, on the CT side. Orp left, going to get hunted by Grim. Oh, and he gets the headshot as well before the bullet got fired. Mostly pistols out for Infinity. Scout for Sam A. Does get that first headshot on Curry, but needs to get out of dodge, just back behind cover. Not going to get there in time. The AWP from Junior just gets his 90-degree flicking back and forth. And a Triumph onto the A site. Davies and Kinky here to defend against them, a USP and a P250. Molotov's down. A good kill from Kinky. And another kill from Davies. How are they getting so far with these basic pistols? The AWP is so susceptible as well. 13 HP. They've dropped the bomb on the site. And Triumph, again, just letting them get away with stuff they shouldn't. Toronto and connect to control should be able to follow them further into the bomb site. Shakezilla does isolate that 1 kill at the back of the truck. Orp scoping in, going to try and look for a bomb plant position. Will smoke out Bank, and a smart play as well, because they could realize a flank's coming in. Oh, Davies. Tapping, so close, but not going to get the 1 bullet he needs to connect to Junior. Does find that kill in the end, leaving it to a 1 versus 1. Toronto still having a chance. No kit for him, making a lot of noise, making no qualms about where he's positioned. Taps around the corner, taps the bomb as well. Looking towards Bank as Shakezilla makes his way in from Dumpster. It will be a full-blown 1 versus 1. Up on the stairs, checking truck, checking mid, checking Bank. Now known to Toronto's position, but he's running out of time. He's not got enough firepower in the first place. So 3 kills for Shake, keeps the AWP in play. And Triumph will still lose so much from these pistols. You know, Deagles, I can understand the P250 kill, fair enough, but even the USP got headshots. Got kills against the Triumph side. Not checking those angles, not keeping a keen eye on where they could pop out from. Nades up to respond here. Fast hit coming out from the T side, but Grim and Curry are going to pay for it with their HP initially. They're still bursting in 4 out of the monster entrance. Torito's waiting on sight on the default position, catching off Shakezilla for a decent kill. Kinky gets one of his own, but he's naded back by Grim. So 2 for 1, making it 2 for 2 in a 3-on-3 scenario. But Davies turns it around with an AWP pick against Grim. Jump facing for info towards the back of the monster ramp, but they do have the advantage on the Infinity side. Smoke to the site. Down on default, an AK for Spongy looking at the back lines. And Same is next to go falling. So back at evens for the Triumph side, but not for long as Davies uses his own teammate as the connector between him and Junior's death. So it's all left to Spongy now. Last man standing over in the short area. The AK checking out the tunnels, potentially checking out the short entrance. The sandbags to peek out to the pillar. And Davies standing by. Ready to close out this final pick for Infinity and get us to evens once again. So, more missteps from Triumph. And I gotta be honest, I gotta question whether or not our admin's got the picks right, because it does say that Triumph picked this map. Infinity was the ones that picked Inferno, and somehow we're seeing a much even standing. This could well just be the CT side of Infinity going better and Triumph not having a great basis on T side. I'll be honest, I'm not going to make any comments on that. That's just speculation. On my part, at least. Up close from the CT side, does get shut down again on the opening kill. Torito peeking in for a secondary response, though. The AWP does get his 4-on-4. It's a double AWP setup as well for Infinity. Responded to by a single AWP of Junior, though. Straight on the Torito. AK boosted up for Shake. Gonna get Kinky down. Now it's a 4-on-2, favourable to the Triumph side. They have picked apart the B defensive, and now they're going to make the actual execution come in. The AWP off the M4 in the heaven position. The AWP up close does get himself 1, but Junior's not having any of that. 2 kills. Plant should be secured. Well, actually, not even that. I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day. They got the round on their board. A little extra $300 wouldn't do too bad, though. I mean, the economy is not amazing for Triumph. They have sustained a lot of damage over these rounds. Even the ones that they've won have been a little bit sort of, oh, okay, well, this could all go several different ways. Double Molotovs again from Triumph on towards the short and monster control. 2 players making their way out. Oh, Grim. Overcooking that one a little bit too much, just standing at the end of the smoke. Davies and Same will challenge for this connected control, and Grim will lose a lot of HP. He does get that kill and fall out of dodge. Kinky able to get decent damage, and even a pick a hit of his own right, but a lot more will need to be done here by the CT side. And I say that, and actually, these pistols could still take them apart here. 2 HP for Spongy, 24 for Curry. Deagle, if he gets the headshot on Junior, could turn the whole situation around. I think Infinity might want to go for this. Bomb's been planted, of course. No kits out for Infinity. And they're going to opt against going for this. Look for the exits. Boost up for the Deagle. Make their way out of short. They'll have to. Oh, he sees one. Takes that fire initially. The smoke's up. Seeing where Curry is. Again doing damage, but unable to get the kills. Will he fire through the wall? He won't. Do lose Spongy, though, so damage again has been sustained by Triumph. But an 8-6 half goes the way of the T's. Actually make it 9 if they get a good round out of this one. They have got the AKs back in. The AWP, of course, rebuilt for Junior. Or save for Junior, I should say. Of course, full-blown buys for the Infinity side. We'll see the M4s out. Limited utility, limited head Kevlar. That part's fine. No AWP, obviously, and not a whole lot of anything else needs to be noted for the Infinity side. Spamsy close at the fountain. Smoke, sees one, takes him down, and backs off. Not even going to challenge it. AK in from Shake. Takes his face in against 2 and does get his kill on 1. Grim moving up for the second. We pick against Davies. Nice headshot found at the edge of the default boxes. So 4-on-3 scenario. Triumph going to bomb plant in a moment's time. Toronto, Same and Kinky with a lot of work that will need to be done for this retake. And the spray through on Curry. Completely blind through the wall bang. Lucked it out as Same's head lined up perfectly. And his death leaves Toronto and Kinky as the last 2 players left for the Infinity side. M4s versus AKs, and AK wins out against 1. AK spray through the smoke wins out against 2. And that will secure the all-elusive 96 half to the favour of the Triumph side. And it was, again, a good start from Infinity. You know, don't take that away from them. They didn't have a decent stance on their CT initialize, but as soon as Triumph got a bit of momentum going their way, they just built upon it and snowballed out of control. Again, got to give credit to Curry on that opening face from the long position on the 5th round. Had those rifles out for the first time. He just swing up, got the headshots, got all the kills, read all the positions, and just solo entered the A-bomb site, giving Triumph the opportunity they needed to just get that half together. And the prospects are looking good for Triumph once again. You know, just to remind you, for those of you who may be joining us only right now here in this halftime, this is the second map of our best of 3. And Triumph are the ones that lead in terms of the map advantage. They won Inferno so dominatingly. And at the very least, Infinity can say, hey, we didn't get 16-1 again. A loss will still be a loss. And with so few teams in the North America qualifier, you're looking at this thinking, okay, how do we come back if we lose this match? You know, Fury will be up next for Infinity. That's tomorrow. Got to do a lot of figuring out, I feel like. With their general T-sided basis here on this map, this could be the half that they need to win it out. I'm saying that based off statistics alone. 61% I should say, of rounds that Infinity have won have been on that T-side, so. CT half went well. Give me their chance to turn it around after halftime. But again, I want to see so much more from these guys. It's silly little mistakes that are really costing them. And, you know, when you got a team like Triumph who will outpace you and beat you to the punch when it comes to these aim duels and such. You know, Infinity most certainly are at the disadvantage. Just in terms of the pound for pound. Obviously, as a team, Triumph have been playing together for a fair amount of time. That core has been around for a fair bit. I'm not the oldest team in the world, but the performances and stuff like MDL have certainly proven, I think, to be a respectable team. Especially in Season 32, which is the reason why they're here in the first place. The second half is about to go live between these two sides, and for Infinity, it is an all-needed pistol victory, I feel like. If they don't get that together, then there may be bad times ahead. Second half pistol, Infinity. With the utility out for Davies and Samé. Samé's also bought a P250, no raid boss. 3 flashes, 2 smokes in total between those 2 players. No utility and no kit for the Triumph side. The CT setup comes in. And he just go out to the mid position. Start things up with 2. The bomb also making its way up. Junior in the back lines. Over on the dumpster area, gets that first kill. Samé can respond elsewhere on the long position, leaving it all left to Junior. He's going to get overwhelmed by his T-side force. Spamsy making his way up, gets some blind taps with damage, but no kill. And the plant should get secured here. 4 on 4. Again, no kit for this retake, and Spamsy's going to make good work of that by taking 1 player out of the bottleneck. The CTs continue to press forward. There is 1 player on long. They know that from the smoke. They need to find the players in mid, though. Those are going to be the main issue. Kinky gets 1. Davies responds as Spongy gets his trade. All left to Junior. Knowing he's got no kit. Tap up for 1 headshot. Desperately trying to look for someone back here. Davies also takes the bait again. But he's dead out of time from this moment. There should be no way he can hold off against these 2 players. Gets that 1 headshot, but the time is just way too low. So Junior's out of there. And Infinity will secure that pistol. Will secure their 7th. Triumph left empty-handed in that pistol round, and a force buy from the CT side. Okay. No M4s, 2 scouts though. And 2 CZs for Curry and Spongy, so Infinity will look to make their way onto the B bomb site initially. Spongy's going to see a whole lot of hurt as he makes his way out. Nades up to try to do some damage. That'll land a bit too deep. It will do significant amounts. The SMGs better be ready to clean this up, though. The spray's awkward from Grimmy. Only gets 1. The CZ returns back to a 3-on-3, and the scout comes in. Headshots found. Not seeing anyone from short. Seeing 1 player at a gap in the smoke. Junior's landed his 2nd. It's all left to Sam A. Bomb picked up. CZ close, and Triumph have turned it around. That was beautifully played. So beautifully played to bait in. Throw vision off, not quite do as much damage on the initial nade facing, but get those crucial weapons, the scouts and the SMGs and the CZ as well at close range, into position to bottleneck the Infinity side. As they all came round the corner, they all fell 1 by 1, and that's a hell of a response from Triumph. Back in business with the full rifles, and just down to pistols on the force buy for Infinity. In this round deficit, things are starting to get a little bit sweaty. Good deagle shot from Spamsy, though. Takes things out in the connector area. Curry, first man down. It was the SMG, though, so they still got the rifles. The AK, in particular, on Grim. It's the main thing to worry about. Sammy's got his SMG in the Galil of Sheikh Zula. Picks up a kill in connector. Hearing footsteps to his left as well. I don't know if that's, if Spectre might be Junior or otherwise. So his Galil gets a kill on Davies next. Tech 9 from Kinky gets that trade back. 3-on-3 scenario. And Torito does catch Sheikh Zula, hearing footsteps on the bridge area. So Infinity have gained a man advantage. Seconds. It's Grim. Jump faces should be heard out here. He's not got any long presence. The Deagle's out. The Galil spray. The AK comes in though. Doubles up. Triple kill against Torito. And Grim low HP, but high chances and high sequences for the Triumph 11th. 4 in deficit now for Infinity. A lot of work to do if they want to try and bring this back. Again, not quite as much as the earlier in the first map, but regardless, this T side, desperate need of something going their way right now. And this eco will not be that opportunity. This at best is just going to be a bonus round for the Triumph side. And Infinity a safe round to get the rifles back in for our 5th of the half. Sheikh Zilla will follow suit on Grimm's opener on the boost spot. The connector position being heavily contested by Infinity. Now trying to back it up with a secondary rifle. Spongy gets his kill. Sheikh Zilla gets another. Triple overall. As the rifles clean things up. Nice to get the SMG kills if Curry could get to position, but all in all, just not going to be all that viable for Triumph. So understandable, to say the least. 12-7 at the moment. And this is Infinity's buffer buy, if you will. They concede this, they'll get pretty close to match point for Triumph. So best case scenario for Infinity at this moment will just be to win this rifle. Got to win the follow-up round after that, so there's still a lot of risk that carries in winning this rifle round. The economy right now is just not sitting in the favour of the T's. Triumph. Ready to receive them as the defaults have seen nothing. The connector position cut off. Junior's waiting back in park for information. Infinity as a result, not even going to bother with those positions on the map. They're not going to bother with the A site at all. It will be a B here. The flashbang's over. Smokes at the ready. Bombs being dropped, and last second decisions are going to try and force the issue in con. And Kinky does go back to his position on the setup as Sam A looks for anything. The smokes come down. Kinky is going to make his way up, but the door's open and Shake's got a perfect chance to swipe on the short players. 3-for-1 trade. Sam A desperately looks for his 2K, and a third player does pop out, but does not get the kill for the T side. So once again, Triumph on a fantastic defense. Infinity. Deagle's out on the T side. The Glock for Davies. Eventually upgrades to that Deagle, so down to a 1.5k buy for the T's. Of course, on max loss bonus, so the Colombian core will be looking to shut this down at the 14-7. But for this round, there's not really much they can do. Grim jump facing, getting a blind shot on the short position onto Spamsy's head. Torito facing up out in the opening against Spongy, and there was no way he was going to win that out. It's pinned into that corner. Sam A does line up a good headshot at the very least. The Shake Zilla responds towards the long position, so again, Infinity unable to catch a break. Sam A does end up falling in the end, so it's all left to Davies. 1-on-4 with his Deagle out. The bomb is on his back, so they have that much to work with. Actually, Jake Zilla with his back turned, so that's a rifle we can recover. Flashing out towards mid, going to trust him on and potentially a mid play. He's going to make his way in from long, though, and be very quiet about this. No more utility for him. Obviously, no Kevlar. Jump face from the M4 now knows exactly where he is, so the CTs can respond off the back of that. Time's ticking. Incendiary will stop him in his tracks as close as he possibly can. Nays to do a minimal amount of damage. Around the corner against Grim. Seen. Taken out by the player on default, so it's a buy. It's a buy from the Infinity side. AK's up for, it seems, everybody, yep. Haven't seen many AWPs come out from the Infinity T side so far. Automatic weapons. Spamsy not even gonna extinguish that Molotov in full. 2 players walking out. That's a lot of damage being sustained by just one simple incendiary. And this is going to get very awkward as Junior pops out, gets that first kill. Sam A can find a trade. Just Infinity keeper standing at evens for the moment. A lot of aggression and map control coming in elsewhere from Triumph, though. You can see Curry in particular on that short position, watching out from the short tunnels. Got Torito as his main contact if he decides to face there. He's going to get backed up as well by Spongy, so very passive B-side defensive. Certainly could be a retake area. Triumph also having 2 players on the long position. And Curry's hearing footsteps around him, so he may call some more information out to the connector area. They may be suspecting a B play. Be right to assume this. And 40 seconds to the hit with the push coming in towards connector. No one's made their way out from middle, but they're all going to focus on the B site stack. Curry on short. They're hearing all these footsteps as well towards Monster. They know it's going to be a Monster play. All 4 players out. Curry's got the main choke point on lock. Headshot against the first. He does lose Spongy, but he gets himself 3 picks. Completely blind. Gets Davies as well. And that's another multi-frag round from Curry. A map and match point for Triumph. This could be a short one. The AK is backed up by very little utility from the Infinity side. Smoke out from Sam A, but you can see Junior already making his way up in connector. Meanwhile, is where they'll see a challenge coming out. Junior's going to get forced back. Jake Zuda will be left with a bottleneck position at the edge of the smoke. Felled away. Torito will be the first man down. Got Shake waiting back here. One player around this corner. Davies moving up. Small angle. Headshot not quite taken, but brings us a kill. He's going to get traded back. So all left to Junior on the site. Orb shot not connecting. Repeats in. Can't get his flick. It's a 3v3 as the T's make their way up. Mark can't get it secured, but they do lose their main man. Sam A also goes down. So it's all left to Davies. 1 versus 3. Here in Bathroom, spraying through, but dropped by Spongy in the final kill. So there it is. A 16-7 for the Triumph side, a 2-0 all-in-all against Infinity, and again, I can't really say I'm too surprised at that result. I think a lot of people had Triumph pinned to be the victors in this particular matchup, and that exactly is how things went down. So, I mean, of course, there's still an opportunity for Triumph, for Infinity to make things happen. Of course, it is a round-robin group stage. It is a three-team round-robin group stage. And that does mean that things could get a little bit more dicey for them. With Furia being their opponents tomorrow, Infinity's chances aren't quite as high as they would really like it to be at this moment. But that's all a concern for tomorrow. Today, we are done. Our single best of 3 is over, and ESL Pro League has officially begun here as part of our qualifier series. And I've been the Eternal Jab, I've been your commentator for the evening. I want to thank you for joining me and for joining us here at ESL TV. Of course, we're back here tomorrow at the same time, at the same place at midnight CEST for Furia versus Infinity, which is 6 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, and 3 p.m. Pacific, if my time zones are correct in thinking about that. But either way, that's for you to work out in your own time zone. You can keep your eyes on the regular match pages to find out when things are going on. So in case I'm an idiot and I'm wrong, which is most likely, you can figure it out for yourself. But for tonight, that's going to be it. Again, I've been the Eternal Jab and your commentator, and we'll see you back here tomorrow for even more of the ESL Pro League in Season 12.
underdog. Who needs to be liked?
Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Cool, right? Want to know where I got it? Well, look, go to CS.money. It's a trade platform and a marketplace at the same time. Just choose, click, and get. Good luck, bro.
Charge up your game with excitement. Place your bets with Solid Bookmaker and win with your favorite teams. Take what's rightfully yours with GG Bet.
Yeah. Let's talk. Look, ayo, we rose from the dust to the sun. They claiming that we the one, never one-on-one. Teamwork till we done. Sent on a mission, we got ambition. Never scared, we won't run. Never one and done. Some sit